with this Mirage.
One of the things that Remmy said earlier today was that he wasn't feeling very well. In his words, he said he got food poisoning, which I don't think he would quite be right here if he truly got food poisoning. But he said, I had food poisoning. I played against Kosalix. I threw up. I think he said he threw up.
I watched him throw up.
And then I 2-0'd everyone. Those are his words on what happened today. So based on that, he just had to get the badness out of him.
You got to get the bad juju out.
And then it's 2-0 on everybody else.
Maybe did some preset throw-ups before this set, not quite sure. But he did end up beating out Cake. I'm going to go back. It was a 3-1, wasn't quite a 2-0. And it was a 2-1 that he won against Crocky. But he is going up against Dobrein right now. These two are quite friendly with each other. Not sure how well this set is going to work out, considering it is NA versus EU.
Now, keep in mind, both of these players do have Spear. Dobrein has the Spear, and then with the Hattori pick from Remmy, he also has the Spear. The difference is going to be Scythe on the Mirage versus Sword on the Hattori. So a lot of people are kind of somewhat in contention right now about whether Sword is better than Scythe or Scythe is better than Sword. I know Atrophy specifically thinks Sword is better because it's dominated the meta for so long. Like, it's always been there, and there aren't a lot of Scythe players winning tournaments. Obviously, in North America, Atrophius is kind of the only Scythe player, the only Scythe player who places really well, respect to Tybo, of course. But other than that, not a lot of Scythe players in North America. So that could be a reason why Scythe players aren't winning tournaments. But also, EU Scythe is just different than North America Scythe. With Dobrein, he's going to wait to get that dodge, and he's going to string you from white to orange if he possibly can. Whereas Atrophius' Scythe, he kind of plays it more like Sword, where he uses low startup frames and low recovery frames, but he only goes for those like 2 to 3 hit strings before he tries to reset. He doesn't go for those big, gigantic white to orange.
But we do see, in particular, Dobrein's a very big fan of that reverse neutral light, that ends up turning around, setting him in the opposite direction. A lot of follow-up options for Dobrein. That's one of the big reasons why he's a big fan of it. But he hasn't really been able to pick those up, despite the fact that Remmy's been playing relatively aerially. Yeah,
he's almost always going to use that downlight. He specifically pokes with it a lot, like so much more than any other Scythe player.
He'll do it downlight into another downlight just to get those pokes out.
The only time you really see him not reverse it is we saw it like once earlier today, I think when Creed and I were casting him in pools, and it was when he needed the kill, and so he did it for the extra force on the forward kick, and ended up doing that instead, and that ended up giving him the kill. It might have actually been on Blackguard Keep, but I could just be remembering wrong.
But he's here with the Scythe again. You see Remmy. Oh, that's going to be the stock. Yeah, Remmy able to keep Dobrein from touching that wall. Stands still for a little while. Didn't want to weapon now quite yet, but he is going to pick up that spear. Haven't seen any big bursts from Remmy. It's predominantly been those taps that we were talking about, those quick 1 or 2, get whatever damage you can as consistently as possible, whereas we just saw Dobrein picking up a pretty solid string, finishing off with that recovery, not able to keep that recovery pressure going. Generally, you can see Scythe players go for like 1 or 2 recoveries off stage. That could be killer, but Dobrein opting to stay on stage, play a little bit more neutral.
In terms of pressure, though, Remmy's actually keeping it up with these weapon tosses until he actually just disarmed himself. He was able to hit 2, just like even when he was really far at range, he was able to put out the pressure, gets the downlight into the recovery. That could be the stock. He's able to follow it up with the unarmed side air. The chase dodge, that platform lowering just enough so that Dobrein could get back into the downlight. Ground pound takes the game out from Remmy's fingertips just like that.
Remmy had that. That was all he needed to do was keep Dobrein from that soft platform. That's what he went for. He went for the down heavy, which has the most hitbox coverage, right? It covers all the way around him, but was just a little bit too far to the right. Didn't quite get the hit onto Dobrein. Dobrein ends up coming back, gets the ground touch, and then immediately gets the downlight ground bound to take the stock off of Remmy. I thought that was Remmy's for sure.
Now, Dobrein tends to have nerve issues. Like, he gets really, really anxious and nervous in tournaments. Like, that's one of the things that people have said, like, oh, who's going to win the tournament today? Dobrein, if he doesn't get nervous, if he doesn't get anxious, if he doesn't throw his games because he's just in a nervous state. Like, that happens a lot with him. That's why I think we've seen him not perform as well as we expected on lands in the past. On the other side, this is like one of Remmy's first lands. Like, he didn't go to Combo Breaker last year, didn't go to CEO Dreamland this year, didn't go to Combo Breaker this year, so it's like BCX and then Shine. that's really his only lane experience so far. So the fact that he's made it this far, he's not in his sophomore slump after winning Summer Champs and Brawl League Masters. So Remmy is in such a good spot right now, and the fact that he's able to continue that on land and deal with the pressure, like, that's so good.
Definitely props to Remmy for being able to maintain this this play, considering we've seen many a player win 1 or 2 major tournaments and then just completely fall off the scene. Noel's really been one of the only ones to really maintain his presence after winning a LAN or a seasonal event. We've seen players like LDZ win 1 or 2 seasonals and then start to fall off. We saw Zaloxory win Combo Breaker last year, and then
he's really had a tough time lately.
He's struggled, and then we saw Dobrein win CEO Dreamland and then completely fell off. Definitely props to Remmy for being able to.
Dobrein didn't win Dreamland.
Sorry, yeah, that's what I mean. Boomy won Dreamland and then fell off. So definitely props to Remmy for being able to maintain that.
And with that, just looking at Remy's tournament placings, like, other than Winter Champs at the beginning of this year and Brawl League Open Cup, he has only had 1 placing that wasn't top 8, and it was 9th. So he was, like, right on the cusp of that. He was so close to it. So that's Remmy just really stepping it up in 1v1s this year. He kind of played second fiddle to Boomy last year. Like, Boomy was the star of their 2v2 team. And the fact that Remmy has been really able to step up his singles game, that's just been so solid for him. That's been just showing how much work he's put in and how he's grown as a player. That's the white to orange combos that we see on EU site.
That's something we haven't seen in a very long time. That's something that Effie specifically was a huge fan of using, was the Sair Nair, Sair Nair, Sair Nair, and just try to see how long you can keep that going. Dobrein taking a page out of his fellow EU player's book and utilizing that against Remmy to keep himself even in the health department. Reverse Nair, not going to quite kill. You do see Dobrein expecting it to kill as he started to run away back, but he had to turn back around, make sure that he finishes his off. Sair still not enough. Denying sights, and Remmy's still able to get back to the platform.
There's the side air to finish off the stock. Remmy's still maintaining control even after he got hit really, really far to the left. He got back onto the platform. You saw Dobrein moving back. He was trying to play more defensively, and Remmy just kept his position of power, moved into center stage, had stage control, and ended up just with his presence pushing Dobrein off to the left. But you see the kind of caliber player that Dobrein is. He doesn't seem too nervous right now. He's executing everything really, really well, and he's able to turn things around quickly instead of tunnel visioning and maybe trying to fish for signatures just for the kill or getting desperate or anything like that. So a lot of respect to Dobrein.
He's sticking with this scythe play, trying to get those strings. All he needs is a good read on the dodge from Remmy. There's the side light, there's the dodge read, but a little bit too high with that jump Sair. Wanted to go back into that Sair Nair play.
There's the reverse Nair into the recovery. I think he was looking for the side light there. There's a nice Nair. Doesn't get quite high enough in terms of Remmy's positioning to pick up that recovery. Remmy's doing a great job floating just under those recoveries. They're like 1.5 jump heights up, and Remmy's staying just under 1 jump height.
Oh, weapon toss actually stopping that.
That could have been really scary. If he was in stun for a little bit longer, that could have been an insig coming out of Dobrein. The side signature not going to kill. He's just barely able to get back, and Remmy misses the dare. He didn't expect him to be that far on the wall. There's the neutral signature, and again, those clutch moments.
Sealing these out from underneath Remmy. Remmy has been so close to finishing these off, and Dobrein just comes back up, gets what he needs. He's been able to hit a lot of those side light into neutral sigs as far as kill options go for Mirage, but it's just, these are so close.
And that's interesting because we were seeing a lot of spear side signatures and a lot of scythe side signatures and down signatures as well coming out of Dobrein earlier, and now it's primarily almost exclusively that neutral signature out of the side light for the kill option. I can't believe that Remmy put that dare that far into the push-off column. He really should have put that right on the wall.
Looks like he's kind of figured out where he needs to put his dares, though, as he does get that Gimp onto Dobrein. Very quick stock off of him with that quick dare. We do see Dobrein. He's on the spear, not quite his comfort weapon. He's going to have some pressure. Going to try to go for some of those strings, but really he's just waiting for a weapon to spawn so that he can go back over to the scythe, stutter stepping away from Remmy. There's the spawn, there's the immediate throw away, and then there's the scythe that Dobrein wants.
Trying to poke with the Nair, but Remmy, look at this reset.
downlight dare, gravity cancel, downlight recovery from Remmy. Big string, big damage. Look at his health in the top right, barely getting into the orange just now off that one string from Dobrein. But Dobrein is almost down on his second stock.
Almost had enough active frames. Ends up missing the jump there, so the insig is not going to be able to hit gravity cancel side signature. Just going right under the weapon toss. He's able to get it, but Dobrein picks up the downlight into the ground pound. All of those active frames from the sword recovery, that put him up over that wall. You don't have the option on Shipwreck to recover low on the wall at all. It's not long enough for you to stay kind of mid-range down, out of peeking over that corner. But Remmy just immediately turns it around, and he just looks so confident in this game right now. He is controlling everything.
I mean, he's been confident in his gameplay for this entire weekend. I mean, we were talking about it in the twos. Remmy has been telling basically everyone that he is going to win. Good luck getting second place. Unfortunately, now he is in the lower bracket, and he's going to have to get through Dobrein, and he's already 2 games behind.
Yep, he's staring at an 0-2 right now, quite possibly an 0-3, which would send him out of the tournament. He does have control of this game. Nice side air.
That'll be the stock.
Downlight dare, yep. That is going to be it. Remmy keeping himself alive with 2 stocks that game. Forcing Dobrein, I think he did like 304 damage. That's not a lot.
It was not a lot considering. Well, I mean, technically it was a lot considering he only got 1 stock off. That's about 300 damage put into that 1 stock, but it's not a lot in the way of he needed to do basically 200
Absolutely.
more to get those other 2 stocks.
That's Remmy being able to tank things. That's Dobrein not finding the kill options when he needed, and that's Remmy's positioning, making sure that he was as far away from those blast zones as he could possibly be to extend those stocks as long as he possibly could.
Dobrein trying to start baiting some stuff, does pick up the string, but Remmy's been able to get out, avoids that recovery follow-up. Remmy starting to recognize where he needs to dodge around these startups from Dobrein.
We're back on Blackguard, though, and that's where that faded soft platform lowered itself just in time for Dobrein to get on and reset his jumps and turn it around on Remmy. So we might see some flashbacks to that unless Remmy's able to keep his cool.
He does have the health lead, avoids that neutral stick follow-up from Dobrein.
Nice dare, turning it around.
Oh, the recovery underneath, not able to get a dare out in time. Dobrein has the weapon advantage. We haven't seen too much from his spear in this set just yet. Generally, he's a big fan of that spear down signature. Not sure what he's going to be looking for, but it's going to be Remmy who picks up the side sig.
And he actually kind of started off the set using a lot of spear as well. All of a sudden, he transitioned away from that, and we saw so much scythe coming out of him as a damage, as the kill potential for him. And then he had spear for a little bit there, ended up getting side signatured by Remmy. Look, he's staying on that platform. Remmy plants the flag in the middle.
Dobrein trying to get Remmy to make an approach over to that left island. He knows that's where he ended up finishing that stock off. Not able to get in position in time to stop the recovery. Oh, quick nair, out of hit stun. Dobrein has been going for a couple of moves out of hit stun. He went for a downlight out of hit stun a little while ago. And there you see that nair out of hit stun attempt from Dobrein.
Now keep in mind, both of these players are fighting for their sponsors right now. This would be STDX's first LAN win, and it would be ENX's first singles win. The only LAN win that they've had was having Daiku as part of the 2v2 team at BCX. So this would be a huge win and kind of a big statement going into BCX in the next few months about who is the top org, who scouted the top players.
I mean, they're also the last hopes of their respective teams. iThrow from STDX has been knocked out, and so has Daiku of Team ENX. So really, they not only have just their orgs and their regions on the backs, but they just really have everything else on their own backs as they try to get through the rest of this set. We do see Remmy is starting to play a lot better in these later games. Currently 2 stocks to the 1 of Dobrein. Does get inside with that dare.
Playing on the edge. Remmy's going to go on the edge just for a minute, come back. That side signature almost ended up clipping him. That would have almost certainly been the stock. He needs to be careful. There's the downlight dare. The dare misses. The weapon toss. He's keeping that pressure up.
with the turnaround nair. Not going to get that soft platform touch. Instead has to go over to that wall, which means he can't be in position to stop Remmy from getting to that soft platform.
Max
That'll
range on the gravity cancel side signature, then the down light into the Sair. Remmy tying up the set. You see him smiling. He's got to be feeling good right now. That was another game that he had so much control on. Dobrein might be feeling the pressure. It was when I was watching him yesterday in 2v2s, I can't remember who he was playing against, but I was standing next to Kyler Alice, and Kyler said that once Dobrein starts like chase dodging everywhere and just constantly moving and not attacking at all whatsoever, that's when he's tilted. That's when he's going to start throwing the game. So that could be something that we might need to look out for just in terms of his play style. Obviously, that doesn't mean every chase dodge.
No, every chase dodge is a tilt dodge.
Because obviously that's a very strong movement tool. So don't get me wrong there. But in terms of just if that happens, I'll be able to point it out.
We are seeing a lot of nair attempts from Dobrein. Finally gets the reverse nair that he was looking for, but can't keep that positioning, keep that pressure on top of Remmy. Again, going to back up, try to fish for these reverse nairs.
No player has made contact until that neutral light in probably about 10 to 15 seconds. So a lot of unpredictable movement coming out between these two. Possibly a lot of nervousness coming out as well. Nobody wants to be in the spot to get punished.
It is do or die for both of these players. It's currently tournament game, and Dobrein about to take the first stock off. Side air. Not enough. Remmy still has the movement, and that will do it. The side light, enough to keep Remmy from resetting his jumps. So he's going to fall to his death, and Dobrein going to swap back to the scythe, try to get some quick string damage before he gets this stock taken off.
Now, if they keep trading wins on one another's maps, like obviously the first Blackguard went to Dobrein, the second Blackguard went to Remmy, the first Shipwreck went to Remmy. Is the second Shipwreck going to go to Dobrein this time? Because he does have the lead at this point. There's a side light, but he needs to find the kill options. Gravity cancels, side signature is punished with a down light into a nair, into a side air. There's a down light, there's a nair.
Tries to follow up, but Remmy able to shoo him away with that side air from the sword. Dobrein, again, still looking for those poking down lights, just trying to max range that and see if Remmy steps too far forward. But this time, he's going to get underneath, pick up that recovery onto Dobrein. Dobrein, no weapons on the board. There's the spawn, immediately picks up the scythe, but backs away, does not want to overcommit. He's going for these long-range pokes with the down light, but Remmy punishing with these side lights.
Nice reverse dare coming out of Dobrein. That's one of those things that's so scary about Shipwreck is not only do you have the really, really tiny walls on the edge, it's that if you're not there, it's pure neutral game. That flat area with no other soft platforms to get the way, no moving soft platforms like on Blackguard, no stationary platforms like on Blackguard as well above it. Nothing like that to get in the way. It's just pure neutral game, and that's just a really interesting dynamic that I'm personally not comfortable with sometimes. And it's like looks like Dobrein's just dominating right now. He's poking so well with the side lights, with the down lights as well. That's why he's been able to do so much damage. It looks like Remmy's starting to get a little bit of the better of him. Nice side air answer from Remmy.
Oh, trying to get that follow-up, that neutral light into the recovery, but Remmy able to avoid those follow-ups. Dobrein is in a position where he needs to get this stock off of Remmy. The side light not going to be enough. Oh, goes for the down light. Likely would have been that forward kick off the down light.
The weapon toss. He's able to switch weapons. When there is a spawn on the field, he's able to throw his weapon away, pick up the sword, keep so much pressure.
Turn around side air.
That could be the stock. There's the weapon toss. That is going to be it. Dobrein started with a little bit of a lead. Now Remmy turned it around, ended up getting a little bit of a lead.
Still very close. One good down light could be the stock for Dobrein, but he goes for that reverse one, trying to follow up with that recovery, just looking for that setup off the down light. There you see again, goes for the neutral light for that setup.
There you go.
See, all he needed to do was go for the kick. He was going for these follow-ups, but the kick is all he needed with how much damage was on Remmy.
What does he do with these weapon tosses?
He's just being a little indecisive. Not sure if he wants to go for that spear mirror match or just play with the scythe. Side light, neutral light, into the nair, into the Sair. Can't quite continue the Sairs and nairs, but that was a really solid play from Dobrein. He had just burned Remmy's dodge off the first side light, neutral light whiff, but Remmy not able to reset it, ends up getting caught by the second one.
Nice waiting on the down light coming out from Remmy, waiting for that down light to come out, that poke from Dobrein that he's done so consistently so far. Nice gravity cancel, side signature, and Remmy is going to 3-2 Dobrein. Another EU player falls. It is all up to Addy Mestic for the EU dream now. Remmy said he was going to take Shine, and he's on his way to do that right now. Dobrein putting up one heck of a fight. We saw those quick, slick, clean turnarounds from him, not choking in those last moments. He was able to clutch like 2 different times.
Yeah.
That could have honestly gone either way. That could have been yet another clutch from him. The fact that he was able to play so well, even with his nervousness issues, that I mean, tournament nerves are a serious problem.
They're real.
I had him in pools. Like, I can only imagine being up there in front of that entire room. Even if that entire room isn't there for Brawlhalla, you still have all of those faces out there, all of the people that are in the convention hall. Congratulations to Dobrein for making it this far in LAN. I'm trying to look at the past LANs that he had. Obviously, he got 7th at CEO Dreamland, a solid placing there. He wasn't at Combo Breaker, and then I don't have on hand what he ended up getting at BCX last competitive season.
But looking at the screen, that is the current bracket as far as we are aware. Remmy did 3-1 Cake. He just 3-2 Dobrein. Over on the other side, Boomy and